Welcome back. And since our last episode where we beat Everton in the FA Cup, we've gone on a bit of a run and we've unlocked a new formation. And I say new formation, it's not really a mastermind new formation. It's one position, it's one player, it's Odegaard playing in this attacking midfield role. Following the Everton match, we actually had Romeo injured and Ascasabar suspended for 2 matches. So we only had Storaro as a defensive player. So rather than go with Storaro in defensive mid, which he doesn't play very well in, we kept him midfield and we just pushed Odegaard into the attacking mid position. Obviously, Odegaard's been injured for most of this season, but he's been really good in this position. And not just that, it's just allowed our team to be a lot more attacking. And when I show you the results in a minute, you'll see how much it has changed our results. So in the last 5 games in the Premiership, we've won 4 of them. And they've not been easy games. Middlesbrough, who are up the league at the moment. Brighton away, okay, it was a 0-0 draw, but they were getting used to the new player in his new position. Watford away, Gabbiadini scored against us, but we ended up transferring them 4-2. West Ham at home, we absolutely destroyed. They were 7th in the league, and I said that they weren't doing that well realistically. Obviously, Ronald Koeman, who is their manager, came out all guns firing, going, "Oh, we're going to show him, put him in his place." He didn't. We won 4-0. Lozano, Dolberg and Cliver all smashing it. And West Brom, we beat 3-1 away. So we've been comfortably winning these games. Justin Cliver there getting 2 goals. Dolberg, early in the season, I said, we might have to sell Dolberg because he's injured a lot. I don't think it matters if he gets injured a lot, because if we look at his stats, last season he scored 24 goals in 37 games. This season he scored 23 goals in 24 games. So it doesn't matter if he gets injured, he's just going to score more goals. So he's been playing really well. He's now our top goal scorer, even ahead of our Euro Cup wonder kid, Moussa Dembele, who I think at this point has probably reached his last few games for Southampton. I mean, his potential abilities, he's not going to get much better than this now. He's provided 17 goals in the Euro Cup, so he's done all right. But outside of the Euro Cup, he's not performed that well. And it's probably time for us to move on and part ways at the end of the season. Koeman is another player that may not make the grade at the end of the year. He's 21. He hasn't really cut it. He's had a few games where he's come on and he's done well. But realistically, he might have had 15 starts, but he's had 35 appearances overall and only 9 goals in that. He's actually had more appearances than Dolberg, who is our top goal scorer. So it's probably right that we keep Dolberg as our main striker and then maybe bring in another player to back him up. On to Veros. So following our great winning streak, we're in 2nd place. We're actually we're kind of in an accidental title challenge, which we weren't expecting to be. Man United lost a couple of games. We're 4 points off them now. There's only 3 games left, and if you look at Man United's fixtures, I can't see them dropping. They have to drop 4 points. So basically, they have to lose a game or to have to draw 2 games of their last 3. And if you look at their games left, there's not a lot of challenge left for them. They've got Middlesbrough at home. The fact they're at home makes it not really a difficult game for them. Watford away, we've just proven that that's not necessarily going to be difficult, and West Ham at home. They're basically doing the same results that we've just done. So we'll expect them to get at least 6 points out of those 3 games. And then even if they didn't, we would still have to win our final 3 games. And if we look at our final 3 games, I don't know how to use many for some reason today. We have got, in our final 3 games, Newcastle at home. We should win that. Leicester away is always going to be difficult, and Arsenal at home will also be difficult. So I'm still happy. I'm still delighted if we get top 4. We've secured Euro Cup. We've won the League Cup. We're in the semi-finals of the FA Cup. Overall, this has been a remarkable 2nd season for the team. So, I mean, if we can get into, if we look here, Arsenal and Chelsea are a game in hand on us. They're 4th. So, Man City are the next challengers. They're 9 points behind of game in hand. So, we just need to get, realistically, we need to get 1 win We've got better goal difference than Man City, so we need to get 1 win out of our next 3 to secure that Champions League spot. So that's going to be the important aim for us. But today we have got the FA Cup semi-final against Leeds. It is a neutral venue. It is Wembley. It's our second time in Wembley this year following the League Cup win. How are we going to get on, especially with the new player in his new formation? Will Odegaard get himself a permanent move at the end of the season? We don't have one agreed, but if he's playing like this, well, we're definitely going to need an attacking midfielder at the end of the season. So who it will be, I don't know at the moment. I am looking at a lot of Real Madrid players because they've got a lot of players that are unregistered. If we have a quick look, Real Madrid, one of the players I've really got my eye on is Asensio, because if you look at Asensio, he's not even registered for their first team. So he's played 9 games this season. He's got to be unhappy. I've put a little scout out to see if he's unhappy. Potentially that could be one. Isco is also somebody who isn't registered. That they've got an abundance of attacking midfielders that they're not playing at the moment. They've got James Rodriguez, who's at Bayern at the moment on loan. So if they don't buy him, he'll come in and he'll be unwanted. So there's a lot of players here that we could potentially try and get, especially if we get into the Champions League. But first, as I've promised, we've got the FA Cup semi-final. We'll see you at Wembley. So this was actually a bit of a difficult team to pick because half the players are on 90-ish%. So we've had to pick a few second string players: Calabria, Bertrand, Cahill in the back 4, Ascasabar defensive mid, Højbjerg in the midfield, and Wilshere in the Odegaard role of attacking midfielder. Honteveros left, Kluivert right, and Dolberg up front. It's a bit of a difficult one really, because Leeds, we've beaten them twice. We should beat them, but it's Wembley. It's not home, so Gianluca, it has just been rested. Why have you chosen Ryan Bertrand as Gianluca's replacement? Because he's a left back. Oh, that's not an option. There we go then. These questions are absolutely ridiculous at times. I don't know who he is. I'm sorry, this is Leeds kicking off. As you can see here, I've still got that slight cold. I am feeling a bit better, a bit more energetic than before. So we can be excitable about this game. This is the FA Cup semi-final. Can we do the domestic cup double? I don't know, because if we get Chelsea in the final, we haven't scored against them this year. So, 4 games, not a single goal. Honteveros with the ball. Oh, he should have looked at left. He didn't. Wilshere though to Calabria. Back to Wilshere into Kluivert, and Kluivert should have done much better there. So throw in. Will it be a highlight? It's not going to be a highlight. Odegaard's on the bench. He's ready to come on and rock it if needed. Wilshere loses the ball, but Højbjerg gets it away to Dolberg. Kluivert. He's got Calabria on his outside. He does see him. It's a great ball in Calabria with a terrible cross. I'm not entirely convinced by Calabria as a long-term option at the moment. He was a good replacement for Cedric, because Cedric was costing us 65 grand a year. His move to Bournemouth has now gone permanent, by the way, so that will happen at the end of the year. Calabria costs us 700 grand, and he's on 17 grand a week, so he's a fine backup player for now. But if there is a better right back out there as a youth prospect, then we'll probably look at getting him in instead. I'm not convinced by Calabria's potential as a world-class player. And obviously, as the mighty Southampton, we are expected to get world-class players in our team. And Kluivert this time doesn't miss, does score. Assisted by Jack Wilshere. And Jack Wilshere's probably been a very underrated signing for me. Like, he's just been there all the time, performed quite well. That's a lovely ball. And Kluivert. Jack Wilshere with the chest and volley pass. Let's have a quick look at his form. Well, he didn't play, so he didn't really get a rating. Oh, he came on the last 18 minutes. How do I get rid of that now? Okay. So half time, and it's 1-0 to the good. If you're a Southampton fan or a this stream kind of fan. If you're a Leeds fan, then it's 1-0 to the bad, surely. But we are continuing, and let's play. A little bit delayed. They were already playing when I said it. So Ascasabar will get it away to Calabria, and Calabria's fine. He's okay. Like, and this is my thing with him. He's just okay. He's as good as Cedric was, which is fine. Oh, Dolberg could have gone a little bit further, which is fine. But you know, and for the price that we're paying for him, 700 grand to bring him in and 17 grand a week. That's okay. But the problem is, if we get a long-term injury to Hysaj, then we don't have a world-class replacement for him. Calabria to Kluivert. Ascasabar. Back to Kluivert. Wilshere. Dolberg's making the run. Has he seen him? He has. Dolberg's now 1-on-1. And he scores. The rebound fell straight back at his feet. And he slotted it in. He didn't need to be asked twice. He was asked twice, so he scored it. But this one, Wilshere just holds it up, then lets it go. That's perfectly timed. Nice. We have our 1 foot in the final. Will we go to Wembley for the 3rd time this year? Dolberg will come off now. Let's give him a rest. And I don't really want to make that change at the moment. And it's 60. And this formation, it's just... It's helped us dominate possession more. It's helped us have more shots. We just feel more comfortable as a team. The highlights we're showing are less scrappy. Now it's Keenan Roof. Oh, he puts Kemar Roof, sorry. Puts it wide. That was Leeds' chance to kind of make us feel a little bit nervous. And Graban, good save by Rulli. Great save by Rulli. And this is the thing as well with our new formation. It means that if we are struggling in matches, if we do need to be a bit more defensive, we can just go back to our original 3 in midfield. But maybe this will be the way that we can score goals against teams like Chelsea. And I think all the top teams have an attacking midfielder. Okay, let's make another change. And we'll bring on Herving Lozano. We'll swap him over for Ontiveros, and we'll bring on Odegaard. And Gershbach will play it to Graban, and Graban all the way back to Bernardo. It's O'Kane on the ball now, back to Gershbach. Tries to find Graban, can't, and Wilshere's got the ball now. Calabria to Kluivert. He's got options. Wilshere to Coman. Coman puts it wide, and it's this lack of finishing, which is why he's probably not going to be here next season. But again, people like Coman and Moussa Dembele, we should be making money out of these players anyway. Like, I bought Moussa Dembele for 19. We're definitely going to see if we can sell him for more. We bought Coman for 5, I think, and he's definitely going to go for more. Oh, he's been tackled. That's a sending off. Leeds have had a sending off in the last 2 minutes. That's their FA Cup dream over. They've done well to get to the semi-final. But Southampton are in the final of the FA Cup. And because of this, there is going to be a surprise episode this week. Much like the FA Cup in real life. We're going to have a Sunday episode where we will show the FA Cup and the final game of the season. But it's all about who we draw next in the FA Cup. How can we tell? Is it Sunday yet? No, it's Saturday. Okay. We'll skip back in a minute to show you the result of the other game in the FA Cup, which is tomorrow, and it's Chelsea versus West Ham. And it's Chelsea. We've got Chelsea in the final of the FA Cup. Now remember, we haven't scored a goal against Chelsea in 4 games this year. But saying that, the last time we played them in a final, we won. So it's all to play for. It is the FA Cup though. Chelsea will come out with their biggest guns possible. So it's going to be a big one. But next, we've got Newcastle at home in the league. See you in a second. So here we are, and it is our strong team as always. Lozano, Kluivert, Odegaard and Dolberg in the attacking 4. Arthur, Romeo taking that midfield 2. Itter, De Ligt, Huit, Hysaj and Rulli as the back 5. And looking at the Newcastle team, they've got a fairly strong team out there as well. Roger Martinez, yeah, the Colombian, looks pretty good. He's scored 12 for them in 30 games. Ayoze Perez, Matt Ritchie, who caused us problems before, Marino, Jonjo Shelvey, and their back 4. There's not really, I'd say Atsu and Mitrovic can also cause problems off their bench. I'd expect a win here. I'd be very surprised if we didn't get a win. And if we win, we get into that top 4. So we actually only need a point to guarantee us top 4 now, because Man City drew and so did Middlesbrough. Coming to this form, or do not, we have to be clinical in front of goal. Man United won their game this morning, or early afternoon game, so I think the title challenge that we were accidentally in is all well and done, and it's over now. But you know, if second or third place for this Southampton team, second season would be absolutely amazing, really. And Lozano, cross it in, Dolberg's there, straight to the goalkeeper. And it's 0-0. Look at this, so 5 shots already on goal. Odegaard just runs the ball into Shelvey. And Newcastle now will break. With Ayoze Perez. Out to Matt Ritchie. Ayoze's got it again. Now it's Martinez. Ayoze plays in Ritchie. Ritchie's there and he scores. Oh, this guy causes us issues. 1 shot they've had. Gianluca Itter just didn't notice his man got goal side of him. Ah, just poor. Poor defending in the end. But can we come back? This would be terrible if we lost every game and somehow lost 4th spot on goal difference. Gianluca Itter crosses it in. Hysaj. To Odegaard. To Arthur. Can't find his man. Arthur picks it back up. Now it's Itter. Itter takes the long way to get it back to Arthur. Itter's now out there on the left wing. He sees him. Lozano's got the ball back to Itter. Cross it in for Dolberg. Lozano scores. There we go. There we go. It was coming. We felt we just had to have a bit of patience. It's a lovely ball from Arthur. And then Itter. Lozano quickest to get back in the box after that, and then just sticks it in the top corner. It's a lovely finish. Okay, so we are absolutely dominating possession. We're absolutely dominating shots. Odegaard crosses it in. Oh, didn't do that well though. And Ayoze Perez now has a break. And I suppose this is the difference, is that our team is now a little bit more vulnerable. Oh, Memedy. A little bit more vulnerable to the counter-attack. There's 2 shots, 2 on target, 2 goals. Oh, it's that ball through the fullback, and between the fullback and the centre back that we've not been able to shield ourselves from at the moment. But Odegaard's on the ball. Now it's Kluivert. Oh, straight at the goalkeeper. Right, we're going to have to work the ball into the box, I think, here, because we're all over them. We'll give them a bit of the hairdryer treatment at half time. Let's have a look. Right, disappointing. Let's be aggressive with this one. Come on, lads, show a bit of desire. You don't look like a team that wants to win. Tactics. Let's work the ball in the box. We've got the possession. We've got the attacking ability now. We've got the threats. And now Memedy is on the ball. Loser to Odegaard. And we do dominate that central mid. It's weird because before we had 3 central midfielders. And yet we dominate possession more now in the centre of the field. A lot more than we did. This is going to be really bad if we lose this. This is the game that we need to win. Or draw. Just draw. We just need a draw. Odegaard. Plays out to Kluivert. Big ball out to Itter. Itter's got options. Lozano's now. It's gone in off Clark. The own goal might have saved our blushes. And Lozano's having a great game. Kluivert out. Itter. Lozano's there. He was looking to square it to Dolberg, but Clark gets in the way and puts it in. We have 17 shots, but one of them has to be scored by their player. Right, let's bring on Jack Wilshere. And let's bring on Javi Ontiveros on the right-hand side. And Højbjerg will come in. He's found a bit of a newfound requirement now in this team as a deep-lying playmaker. Because now and again we do need a player to sit back a bit more in midfield just to hold on to the ball. Hey, 2-2's fine. It puts us into the Champions League spots. I'm pretty sure it does. Sajj to Wilshere. Wilshere just wide. And here we go. Wilshere to Ontiveros. Ontiveros has got Dolberg in support, doesn't find him, and Reyes will clear the ball away. Højbjerg now. Wilshere. Ontiveros will cross it, and it's a terrible cross. That's going to be all over though. The referee blows his whistle. It's all over. Now we just need to tell the team their performance was disappointing. It was disappointing. Leave the match. Right, let's quickly check the competition. Here we go. Southampton have qualified for the Champions League. There we go. Secured a top 4 finish. We've done that with a 6-2 humbling of Burnley. 5-2 against Watford. 3-1 against Arsenal. 4-0 over West Ham. Rank outsiders. And how much our Ontiveros is now happy to stay. He doesn't want to go to Man United anymore. Because we're at in the Champions League, and the board are going to give us only 50 million. Only 50 million to spend to improve our team and our wage budget in extra 200,000. So we can raise it up to 61, but it's not going to get us good players. Okay, so we've got 50 million to spend next year. And if we sell Dembele, we should be able to make 20 odd million out of him. And if we sell Coman, we should be able to make 20 million out of him. So we could realistically, and also if we look at our thing here, oh, we've got Lucas Lourenço, by the way, joining on a free at the end of the year, just as a youth player, Brazilian player. This is just to test out that work permit theory I had, that maybe we don't need to get work permits anymore in the new year or in the new season because of the Brexit ruling. We can also make, well, we got 7.8 million out of Van Dijk. So we're going to have about between 70 and 100 million to spend next year, which if we buy a couple of really decent players into our team, we could probably go on and push for a title challenge next year. But that's been today's episode. The Newcastle game was slightly an anticlimax to the FA Cup win. It was only a 2-2 draw against Newcastle. They only had 2 shots on goal. So I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. But the Leeds match 2-0 means that we are going to be in the FA Cup. It says Saturday here. I'm pretty sure in real life it's normally a Sunday. Our episode will be on Sunday. We're going to release a game on Sunday, just Chelsea, and we'll do a quick review of the season. I don't think now we need to see the Arsenal match simply because we've guaranteed top 4. So the Arsenal match isn't going to change anything there. It might change whether we come 4th, 3rd or 2nd. But obviously the Southampton Chelsea FA Cup game is important. So we'll have a bonus episode on Sunday. Chelsea FA Cup final at Wembley again. We haven't scored against them at all this season. Can we finally do it? I don't know. And then we'll do a quick review of the season and what we plan for the following season, which will start next week on Monday. So, that's been today's episode. If you've enjoyed it, like it, subscribe it, do what you need to do, and I'll see you guys on Sunday. Later on.